So, welcome, my friends. We are on a series, Hammer the Delusion. Delusion causes lot of problems in our life. And as long as delusion is not removed, we will continue to suffer. We will continue to have anxiety, duality, conflict, problems in our relationship. But without living in the world, I cannot get rid of the delusion. The one great master used to say that get hit by the world, enter into the world and get hit by the world. Because if I am not hit by the world in daily life, in my relationship, in my daily activities, I will not improve. I will not be able to change my mindset. So we are starting a serious journey. Serious doesn't mean that we should have a big face, but understanding should be clear. And what happens sometimes we have an intellectual understanding, but we do not implement that in our life. What is that meaning? Intellectual paralysis. That is what I have been talking about. I pleaded at least 10 times in a group session, another group session, where two people have a rift. Every time I plead them, remember this, understand this serious, why it is a serious journey. They have a rift, but nothing happened. They share very deeper experience in the practice every time. They are not ready to drop their differences. They talk very, very, very high of their experiences. It will not work. This is intellectual paralysis. I will, I'll point you out, I will hit your mind, your intellect. You may be thinking other way. I'm not doing it. It is all the masters are doing it. It will not work, my friend. This attitude will not lead us to awakening and permanent peace and happiness. And there is a subtle ego. Subtle ego lies. And this ego comes from the habitual, instinctive, impulsive mind. And the impulsive and instinctive and the habitual mind is unconscious. So it means we we take actions unconsciously, just out of the spur. It happens, it doesn't happen to the awakened, yes, it happens to the awakened also. Because the mind, nature is that. But what happens to the awakening, he realizes instantly and he takes the world back. Instantly, he changes. So that awareness is lacking when we have an intellectual paralysis. When we have that intellectual paralysis, then we lack it. I checked the email last week and I said, no, I'll be coming tomorrow. But the next moment I realized that, tomorrow I have a session. How can I go? Now there is no intention, but it happens. So I resent the email seeking sorry. So when you are ready to live in the world free from the delusion, your mind becomes impure, and then you are ready for awakening. Delusion can slowly take over our lives and the mind in a subtle ways if we are not careful. Let us examine all the seven factors. Foolishness leads to anxiety. Being foolish means living unconsciously and without awareness of our thoughts and actions. So sometime, don't worry. You are attending my session, but your friend, your relations, your loved one living in your family, they may be living unconsciously without awareness of our thoughts and actions. You have not to react. Are you getting it? You have not to react because why? Because you are following the path of Eastern wisdom. You need not to react. You just become aware. Keep cool, calm, silent. No response. That is what I am saying, that we will be hit by the world all the time. All the time. So if I'm not hit by the world, how can I improve? How can I improve? One's wife was crazy. It was long story, but I'm making it short. So he went to the master, and he asked the master, what should I do? I'm ready to be very kind, compassionate, and everything. What should I do? My master said, you got this wife so that you can evolve and find out how you can evolve in that situation. How you do not become foolish by looking at the foolishness of others. First factor, a scattered mind needs more focus and clarity, jumping from one thought to the next, constantly searching for the joy in attachment, possessions, and desires leads to anxiety, leads to delusion, depression, and suffering. Jumping randomly between the browser tabs, task, thoughts, signifies lack of mental clarity. It is also known as the impurity of the mind. Attachment causes anxiety, delusion. Attachment also causes the delusion. Changing to people, clinging to people, not change, clinging to people, possessions, situations leads to delusion. Why you are not listening to me? I am right. Don't push yourself that you are right. Nobody is looking that you are right or wrong. You have to check yourself that you are right. Enjoy yourself. You are right. When you are right, you are calm and relaxed in all the situations. The moment you wake up in the morning until you sleep, you are not getting carried away by your near and dear ones. Are a surface way to happiness. These clinging needs to be stopped. Emotional dependence is unstable. Emotional dependence is unstable. That is what I said. It is always unstable. Relying on external validation from others for inner stability causes anxiety when that validation is lacking. Only feeling happy. हाँ? नहीं आज करेंगे. Only feeling happy when others approve of us. You see, only feeling happy when others approve us. Forget about others. It means my peace and happiness depends on others. We can't control. We are seeking continuous external approval and emotional security from others. So I have to check my mind. Sorry. I have to check and recheck my mind again and again during the day. Am I seeking approval from a possessions, from a person, from a relationship? I have to I have to intellectually think, contemplate, and reflect over it. If I don't reflect, nothing is going to happen. There will be no purity of the mind. That will again cause the delusion. And selfishness always causes the delusion. Selfishness means, I am the center of the world. I'm the center of the family. I'm the center of the attention. So what happens? I forget that all things are temporary, including our body, leads to delusion. Overthinking. Overthinking is what the intellectual paralysis is. I overthink. Incident happened 10 years ago and I still think over it. So sometimes we develop a kind of a habit. We need to examine our habit. And when you get rid of this habit, the delusion is gone. And then there's a constant changing desires causes delusion. I constantly change my desire. I move from one desire to the other. Whether it's a relationship, positions, possessions, they cause us delusion. I'm just explaining I'm explaining the seven factors in a totally different way. So, first thing that what I have said, first thing is to challenge your false assumption. I have to sit down every day, at least for even 10 to 15 minutes every day in the evening. I have to see all my thoughts, speech, and actions with my relations in the world outside and see what happens. I get at least 10 messages every day on LinkedIn. How can you turn your coaching business to a six-figure income? It's a part of the delusion. I look carefully, I read the message. Mostly I don't respond. There is nothing to respond. Hammer the delusion. So first, if I do not challenge my false assumption, I'm living in intellectual paralysis, I'm living in foolishness, I'm living in emotional dependence. I have to challenge it. Whether it belongs to in my relationship, very close relationship. Internally, I have to do it. The world is going to hit me, but I'm not getting hit because I maintain that calmness and the peace even in my close relationship. I maintain that calm and the poise. So when I maintain that calm and the poise, I am purifying my mind. Goal is the self-discovery. But obviously, when I'm maintaining the calm and poise, what is going to happen now? What is happening? Not only I'm purifying the mind, but these principles are helpful in maintaining personal, professional, social, and the family life better. Think. I'm not saying that you should agree. Contemplate and reflect. It will help you a great deal. At least you will not be into anxiety, duality, and a conflict with yourself. And if you are not in conflict with yourself, you are free. So we have done 7 factors I explained you. Eighth one is challenging the false assumption. Means now I am becoming. What do you mean by challenging the false assumption? You are becoming self. You are aware. You are raising your awareness. Oh, is this good or right? To react is good. Not to react is good. Why should I keep on thinking about other person, even in my relationship? Why? Why? You're asking why question to your mind. Every time the mind will force you to think. Here's the AC checkup has come. First thing first, honesty to yourself is the best policy. Not honesty is the best policy with others. Forget about others. Now we are coming to the 9th verse. After challenging the false assumption, now I'm becoming aware that everything is created by my mind, in my mind, which results into the delusion. Nobody outside is disturbing me. Why nobody is outside is disturbing me? Can you tell me? Think of it. You say me crazy, but the principle says that you are not disturbing me. How that happens? Tell me. I'm not carried away. There is no sense of emotional dependence. There is no ego identification that I am very wise. I'm not crazy. Can you change yourself? So, first, I have to challenge these false assumptions. And once I challenge the false assumption, then comes the most beautiful verse. I have been talking, at least I talked even during the last 4 years, maybe 10 times. But now it will make a sense. You will remember this. Satasangatve nisasangatvam nisasangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nishchal tattvam nishchal tattve jivana mukti. I have repeated many a times. Remember, by constant listening and learning from the teacher, what I give you simply the thoughts. And what contains in the thought is the knowledge. What kind of a knowledge? Knowledge of the Eastern wisdom that not only purifies the mind and results into self-discovery. So that is why listening and learning, I try to customize and personalize every session after when you share your experiences in the previous session. That is why it is important. Interaction with the teacher is important. Life. So, so what happens? That is known as the satsang. What exactly we are talking about? We are always talking about our focus is on the real self. Our focus is on the truth. Our focus is on the knowledge. Find out in every session. Listen to any session. Our gossip is on the truth. or gossip is on the truth. Yeah, do you see that I don't waste even a single minute? So listening and learning from a teacher, constant listening and learning, and you are contemplating and reflecting. Repeat listening is contemplation and reflection. I'm translating this verse. So repeat listening and learning is contemplation and reflection. What is the result? You will get rid of the delusion by listening and learning. If you contemplate and reflect regularly, sometime it will take time. For some people, it takes time. For some people, it is fast, but then you have to maintain it. You have to continuously maintain until the mind recognizes instantly here is a moment of one of these seven factors. What happens? You live in that awareness. So, first is the detachment. Listening and learning, contemplation and reflection helps you to live in a higher self awareness, results into detachment. If it is not resulting into detachment, you have to keep on listening. You have to go back to the previous lessons. And from the detachment, results into dispassion. And from the dispassion, results into naturally steadiness of the mind. Natural steadiness of the mind. And natural steadiness of the mind means it is a purified state of the mind. And when you have that purified state of the mind, self discovery is very near, very close. Don't forget those seven factors. Eighth is the false assumption. Ninth is now the master is giving you the technique. Keep on listening, learning first. Repeat listening means now you are alone, you are repeat listening, you are contemplating and reflecting. Question why? Why I said something, why I made the concept clear, how it can be applied to my life. So that is contemplation and reflection. So your thought process is going to change. So if you have a sense of emotional dependence, you'll find, oh, here it is. And the moment you recognize, you'll become free. I'll tell you something in my life that happened many, many years ago, and still it is. Sometime it happens automatically now. And so you see, listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, then you are practicing. So it results into detachment. Now you have to think how this detachment helps you to get rid of how many of the seven factors. And detachment to dispassion, then check how dispassion helps you to get rid of how many of the seven factors that we discussed, whether it's a foolishness or emotional attachment, etc. It is happening. It will continue to happen. You are committed to the journey. And then that dispassion results into a natural steadiness of the mind. What is natural steadiness of the mind? You wake up in the morning, you are totally fresh, you go to the washroom and sit. Everything seems to be organized, calm, and peaceful. Past does not, you don't have a regret over the past, you don't worry about the future, you live in the present moment. That is the natural steadiness of the mind. That is the natural steadiness. So I'll pick up in detail again in the next session, but let us satasangatve nisasangato. Beautiful, the word is satsang. The literal translation of satsang is company with the truth, company with the real self. That is the conversation and the communication we are having. Communication with our existence. Satsang. That is the word used. Communication. No, I'm communicating with myself, my real self. with reference to the delusion, with reference to the emotional dependence. That is why the master lays very important importance on listening and learning from the teacher. That is why I sometimes say, I learned from my master for 26 years. You constant listening and learning. It awakens you. You get it. Initial period of my evolution, I'm in a taking, I'm bathing, water is flowing on the shore, and a thought came against someone, maybe a jealousy or hatred. And I used to cry loudly, "Stop this nonsense." My son said, "What happened?" I said, "Nothing happened." I developed that habit. I was addressing to my mind. Even now, sometimes it happens. I do it. I do it, or it happens naturally to me. Yes, it happens naturally now to me. No way, no reaction. Why you're angry? I used to talk to myself. If you're a modern thinker, then you should take me to Christina, psychotherapy. But the moment any moment of anxiety comes, and I used to cry, "Stop this, mind. What the heck you're doing? Why you are thinking against someone? Why you're attached?" My son used to say, "To whom you are attached, Dad? What you're talking?" But the next moment you return to your senses and you maintain your awareness. This is my personal experience. You may have a very different experience in your life. It is required. Then only we can hammer the delusion. Otherwise, so yes, satsang. So remember the satsang, company with the truth, by thought process, by listening and learning, by invoking the principles. And then you contemplate and reflect. These two people, for the last almost, it has been now more than 10 sessions, I have been pleading them, please change. Sir, I'm changing. I have a beautiful experience. Then why you're not changing? Do you see what happens? This is such a beautiful text. So I recognize where I'm going wrong, where I'm still moving unconsciously. That is the reason we have a beautiful experience in meditation. And after a few hours, those beautiful beauty is gone. Ugliness has returned. And that is why I keep the differences. We simply say, we don't say that you are jealous. We say this is the impurity of the mind. Impurity of the mind can only be removed by listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, questioning your false assumption. And the doubts about yourself realizes, doubt about yourself can be removed by the regular practice of meditation. Make it clear, two part. You cannot remove, you cannot remove your delusion by only practice. That is why we have these principles. Satasangatve. So now remember, I made it as, I think, I made it an acronym, LLCRP. I did it, listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, practice. Huh? I talked about it. I will talk in a different way to make it more clear. So listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, and practice results into detachment, detachment to dispassion, detach. dispassion to steadiness of the mind. Steadiness of the mind is absorption in meditation, and absorption in meditation results into what we want to achieve in our life. Let us close your eyes. We will follow this verse again next week, next session. Eyes are closed and you are comfortable. Say, many people, I say, be comfortable. And you see that in our country, we start moving our body here and there. We start stretching. Did I say you to stretch your neck? No, you didn't say that. Then why you're stretching? I believe you are getting it now. So you raise, just you close your eyes and yeah, adjust. I don't say that. It doesn't mean that you don't move your head. If it demands, you move it. But don't start moving it habitually, unconsciously. Adjust and line your body. And you are comfortable. Comfortable has an experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Very good. And you are carefree. Carefree means, oh, let the thought come and go. Who cares, you mind? Who cares, you mind? Yes. And in that state, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Now pick up any thought out of the 50 different explanations I gave to you. Do you remember anyone? I don't remember even a single one. Means what? Delusion is there. Make it very simple to you. Why the delusion is there? Because you don't remember the principles. You did not do the repeat listening. I'm sorry, I'm a little. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Now your mind with awareness, your intellect with clarity and understanding, it is deep inside your head that the peace is the essential nature of everyone, including me. Clear? Yes, I understood it. Really? Did you understand it? Well, yes. So why you have a reaction against someone? Why you are anxious about someone? Why you are telling a lie? Why you don't take care of your mind and thought process? Even if the mind repeats some reaction against anyone, why don't you introduce, may there be peace for all? So if your mind opens up and says, yes, you are right. If I'm right, then apply this. Sarvesham, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam. May there be completeness in all. I don't need anyone, require anyone. There is no joy of attachment. Tell your mind and stay in the present. When you recognize that I'm seeking the joy of attachment, there is a joy of attachment, there is a pleasure of indulgence, then only I think about others. Then only I will tell a lie. Otherwise, there is no reason. My friends, you have to think and challenge me if I'm wrong. Yes, there is nothing to challenge, and you're already calm. A sense of completeness in me. But not only this, then I don't inflate my ego. Oh, that sense of completeness belongs to every human being. So what happens? Sense of belongingness comes. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Do you exist? Yes. Is your existence depends on me? No. Is my existence depends on me? No. So it is the existence that is sending us all the body, mind, intellect, ego, so that we are living independently. That is the sense of the blessing. So if you are receiving the blessing from the existence, I'm receiving the blessing. Where is the question of reaction and anguishness? In that sense only, we receive the blessing from the others. So now we have completed the thought process. Now you see the way I have designed the practice of meditation. So we have completed the thought process, listening, learning, contemplation, reflection. We have removed that delusion. But those many doubts remains present in the mind. There we need to purify the mind and we enter into the practice. So look inside the forehead. And now what I say, look inside the forehead. Yes. And then inside the space and say Om Shanti. Yes, you say Om Shanti. So body is steady. You're saying Om Shanti and start breathing quick and short breath into the chest. You expand, you inhale and expand the chest, you exhale and contract the chest. And now, are you enjoying the breath? Are you enjoying the breathing with Om Shanti? Are you enjoying the breathing with Om Shanti and the steadiness of the body? That is the key. Continue, my friends. Is your mind still thinking of some other thoughts, or it is only one thought, Om Shanti? If other thought is coming, you superimpose Om Shanti on that thought, continue breathing, keep the body steady, but it doesn't mean that you fall into sleep. No unconscious. That is the first problem of delusion. Unconscious life, unconscious living, habitual living. Are you enjoying the breathing, or do you find when it should stop? You point out the false assumption of the mind. You have to be very tough on them. Then only it will change. And stop it, do nothing, follow the breath, flow of the breath. And what is the point that I told you that you are aware of the flow of the breath? If the flow of the breath is equal in both the nostrils, you need not to worry, even if you have a lot of thoughts going on into your mind. Why? Because that very equal flow of the breath is acting on your mind, deeper layers of your mind to make you calm and relaxed and purifying it. Make it that way. I believe you're getting it. So, what it means? It simply means, my friends, that when you are doing on your own, you did the breathing and you still see the lot of thoughts are crazy thoughts are coming. So it means what? You repeat the breathing again. Check that the flow of the breath is equal. If it is not equal, repeat it again. Commit yourself. What is going to happen? Change. Now looking inside the forehead, again, Om Shanti in the space and start breathing from the belly. Inhale, belly expands, and exhale, the belly contracts. Belly breathing with awareness, Om Shanti, stillness in the body, and you are maintaining awareness and alertness. Om Shanti now. If other thoughts are coming, you superimpose Om Shanti on the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. So now the path is clear, the practice is clear, and you keep on doing it. If the body moves, check it, the body should not move. Maintain awareness. Belly breathing should be done. Shanti continues. And I could see almost everyone is doing great. Continue breathing. The time will come when you will discover that even breathing for 10 minutes, your mind is not resisting. What it means you are progressing. That is one way to say. Even if your mind is absorbed in the mantra previously done, that also shows. But we will continue the practice. We should not leave the practice. Steadiness in the body. Om Shanti continues. Breathing into the belly continues. And you're aware of expansion and the contraction of the belly. We are engaging the mind in such a way that it has no chance of picking up any of the seven factors that we discussed. So once the mind has a belief, a strong sense of identity with the practice, it will drop the identity with the seven factors. And now stop this, become aware of the flow of the breath. Become aware of the flow of the breath. I said only one. The moment you become aware of the flow of the breath, the body will continue to be steady because the mind is not identifying with the body. And when you are aware of the flow of the breath, the mind remains inside. So in that state, you can check your level of awareness. Mind is constantly living within. It's a sense of the freedom. Just you're looking at the flow of the breath, flow of the breath. So you will discover the steadiness in the body, flow of the breath, you're aware of it, and they're more or less equal. And the mind is living with and experience that state. Don't think intellectually, but see that. Do you have an experience the mind is living within? Do you find the continued state of steadiness in the body? And at that time, it is the right time to look at the 16 segments of the fingers and mentally drop Om Shanti. So it's again, I'm saying mind's eye, mind's skin, mind's tongue, mind's ear. So you are not physically touching the 16 segments, you Om Shanti, but it is the mind's touch. It is the mind's speech mentally. It is the mind's vision or perception. Why we are doing it? We are getting rid of these physical sense organs for the perception. We are asking the mind to work at a subtler level. But why? You know the answer. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Or there is another way to be aware when you're saying there is a sound, there is a mental touch, there is a mental touch and mental speech, mental vision. All these sense organs are working in the mind, for the mind. So what happens, it gives you a tremendous vibration and sensations in the fingers, tips and finger segments. No issue. We have only done the two breathing. We will pick up the third breathing, which is also very important. Shanti. 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 And now looking inside the cave of your heart, equilateral triangle. Pointed awareness on the side, moving the mind and dropping Om Shanti on each side of a triangle, finding a sync. So when you see that mind has a sync moving clockwise, anti-clockwise, that is the right time to sing Om and pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Mind seemingly stops. Apparently, it appears as if. So that seemingly stopping is is what we are searching for, and then you are absorbed. So stay there. But well, if the mind disturbs, return again onto the triangle. So I see some people go very deep in the very beginning, and others' body becomes steady after some time. It's a part of the journey. We need not to worry. Don't you recognize the beautiful state where there is a self absorption? You are aware. You're not doing anything. Almost you're in a state of doing nothing. The fact is that that is the natural state of the mind. But why it has happened because of the delusion. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand, Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. If you have any question, you can. How are you, Stephen?
Thank you, sir. I'm great. I, the lesson resonates with me. As we talk, I spend a lot of time contemplating and reflecting, and I don't know why I'm surprised at this point that every time we have a lesson, it's so appropriate to something I've experienced most recently. Prior to this call, I had to run an errand this morning, and I used the time in my car as the opportunity to contemplate and reflect and check the flow of my breath and do all the things that you've been teaching us. Um, Today I'm sitting at a red light and a gentleman pulls up next to me, and I just saw the car, and I usually am just focused looking forward, and I look over and he's just staring at me, and I'm just okay, whatever. And light turns green and he takes off and goes. And I go, ego, and go
Good.
back to my easy driving, whatever it is. And we get to the next traffic light, and there he is sitting there. I get there. He's looking over at me. Light turns green and he takes off. And I say, thank you very much. It's people like you that make me aware of how I can stay centered within myself. So now to the meditation, fantastic meditation. I was with you the entire way and found myself absorbed in every part that you had us focused in. So thank you.
Beautiful. I can summarize. Don't get hit by the word. But problem is that we will always be hit by the word. So I'm already prepared. Instead of a delusion, I move into that dispassion. That is the journey. But we need that level of awareness, the way that Stephen was explaining. How are you, David?
Thank you. Good morning. The lesson, as always, is amazing. And to Stephen's point, it's kind of sometimes I wonder if it's tailored to me in a lot of ways, but it's been very, very insightful. The practice, subsequent practice after that was just very smooth, very easy, very deep, no resistance. And during the japa, I could actually feel the energy of my thumb on each point, each of the 16 points as I was going through it the entire time. And then after that, I just dove into the heart very, very deep and, just beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful. When you feel those energy vibrations in the fingers, they indicate the change in the mindset. So we have to check what is changing in the mind. What is happening? Am I moving into the higher level of awareness or not? That's a good point you raised. Thank you. How are you, Jerry?
Thank you, sir. It was a good meditation, nice and deep and absorbed. To Stephen and David's point, yes, it does apply to all of us. I feel like it is tailored to us individually and collectively.
Yeah.
And my takeaway was twofold: that it's not a superficial practice; it's a very, very deep practice, and that translates in our life, that it's not a superficial existence either. And so if we have repetitive, habitual behavior, we must look at it. And if we choose not to look at it, or if we're involved with somebody that doesn't see it, then we can step back and not respond.
Yeah. If we claim superficial as a real, that is what the delusion is. And that is why we are listening and learning for so many weeks, months, and years. But if we cannot remove what is superficial in me, if I cannot recognize, that is the eighth step. I have to challenge my false assumption. You rightly said. That is what we are doing it. So sometime what happens, even in the beginning, sometime it takes time, even our superficial assumptions appears to me as a real. Who gets hit at what time, we don't know. How are you, Kristen?
Morning, thank you. I really liked the part around yelling at your mind. What are you doing? Why are you attached? Because my children are my biggest teachers. I sometimes write
Yeah,
myself yelling at them. I should be yelling at my mind.
my mind.
Really helpful.
Yes, you got it. Yet, yes, I should yell at my mind. What the heck you are doing? Don't you need peace? And you will find a lifted, uplifted level of awareness, and that yelling will go. Try this. Very good. How are you, Randy?
Okay. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm good. My meditation was really, really absorbed today. I needed that. So thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Good. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. I started off being very jet lagged and with a little bit of brain fog. And the meditation just seemed to calm me, but clear my mind completely. And I feel so much more alert right now. And it was wonderful.
Beautiful. Yes. Yes, because of the delusion and false assumption, we have those brain fog also. I will address those issues uh, progressively in the following sessions. So that can also be taken care of easily. It's a beautiful way to explain. How are you, Dennis?
Uh, Good, thank you. During the lecture, a thought came to my mind that being hit by the world is also an auspicious moment that you are talking about all the time.
I love it.
And
I
but when
love it.
because when I'm hit and it doesn't disturb me, then I'm all set. But
Yes,
if it does disturb me, then there is the impurity to be removed. So this is the
yes.
auspiciousness to
And
help me evolve and progress.
and the moment, so it means I become aware that I am being hit by the world. So when I become aware, I start the journey. But if I don't become aware, then I blame you, then I complain you, then I react against you. See the point. Beautifully put, Dennis. Everything is auspicious in the world. Everything. Everything is auspicious. The children that you have been given by the existence, Christina, are auspicious. No, you just referred me that instead of yelling at my kids, I have to yell at my mind that why am I yelling? Is there other option to treat? It's really wonderful. You have given a new word to me. Yes, that is why the master says, you want to complete, Dennis? I interrupted you. Sorry.
Uh, Now, as far as meditation, it was deep and dark space at the end with just a few thoughts. That's all.
So understand this clearly. The world is not creating a favorable, unfavorable situation for me. My mind perceives that this is a favorable and this is an unfavorable situation. Is winter favorable or unfavorable? It depends on the season. Season. So season is to blame. That is the point. I must maintain my awareness. And then the life becomes so beautiful. How are you, Terry?
I'm learning from all of
Yes,
these points.
yes,
I did pretty well, but at the end I got a pain, and I had to move, so I ended it early, a little early, but just enduring
yes.
and listening. Man,
Very good. Listening and learning,
uh,
and check at how you endure your pain by
yeah,
identifying with the body. In
yeah,
modern language, we say enduring the pain. That is a different mindset. Here, the
uh,
mindset in the Eastern wisdom is enduring the pain is a sense of de-identification with the body, detachment.
uh-huh.
That you have to work on and think of that.
uh,
How are you, Sam?
Namaste, sir.
Sir, you appear and disappear. I love, I love it.
Technology,
Yeah, yeah.
technology. Um, no, I wrote L squared CRP in the top, but um, just going through some things that I've noticed, over the last few days that have reminded me of your lessons. Just a lot of people are claiming to be spiritual people, but are still struggling with the basic things that you gave us in an earlier lesson. uh, Pleasure, money, and power. That's one. And two, the difference between horizontal and vertical growth. If we're growing in age, that does not mean we're growing in uh, maturity or emotional freedom.
We are not concerned. Yes, we should look at it, but we are not concerned about what others are doing. They are running after pleasure, power, position. Let them. Yesterday, I went to the dealer. He charged $600 per month. I said, I appreciate your calculation, but can I do the calculation? Oh, yes, you can do it. So I came down to $320 per month. So I said, that is your way, that is my way. I appreciate your way. Whether you appreciate my way or not, I need not to worry about anyone, what others are doing, even in my family. Then only I can take care of myself. Then only I can become a spiritual person. Then only I can raise my level of awareness. Keep that point. How are you, Vaibhav? But you are progressing. I appreciate. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, mind became calm. It's like understanding the principle makes mind clear, and then it will remove that delusion and it's will be peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I have been repeating. There are 2 points. I have to talk a little bit more. You listen, you learn, you have contemplated, reflected on the principle, your mind becomes clear, and you have changed your habit from today. One option. You need not to do any practice. But you recognize the problem, you did the practice, you have a beautiful experience, and after a few hours, your mind returns to the same. Then I have to repeat listening and learning, contemplation, reflection. Be very logical. Find out in your life how many times you get into anxiety during the day. That will tell you that you need to do the practice, or you need to contemplate, you need to repeat the listening and learning again and again. So, very clear. You take one bite of food, you are still hungry. What you will do? Are you sure?
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Namaste, sir.
Sir, I am fine and doing well. Sir, the contemplation and the reflection is going on, and it has more effect during the daytime.
Yes.
For the last 3 days, I'm going to the bank for the same purpose, just to open the transactions. I mean, and the guy is not telling me all the things I have to do in one way, one go, but he's telling one day, second day,
Yeah.
third day. So, I mean, how long we have to be patient on that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I I did nothing. I mean, I listened carefully to them and
Yeah. I'll
replied
come
them.
back.
But how long I have to be patient? I mean, my question is that. ठीक है,
How
patience
long I have to keep the patience? That is your ego is talking.
ego is talking. Okay.
Yeah. As long as it takes.
Okay.
Yes, you raised the right question.
Sometimes
I
I'm
am-
कभी कभी मैं
How
बहुत
long
ज्यादा
I
कभी कभी मैं
live
बहुत ज्यादा sorry.
I live my life in craziness. I react to people. I fight with someone every day. How long the existence is going to tolerate me? Answer me.
Yes,
You got the answer?
I got the answer, but sometimes I feel I'm keeping more patience. I don't know. I mean,
Ego. How can I
okay,
have more patience? Patience is patience. There is no more patience. There is not less patience.
okay,
Patience is patience. Understand that. This is what our master says. Patience is simply patience.
Hmm.
There is no 5-pound patience and 10-pound patience.
Okay. I got it. Thank you.
But you have to find your intellect is clear. You don't have any intellectual paralysis, so you find different ways. I already gave an example. I have to lease a car. So he says 600, I say 320. And I could see his red face. I am happy. So I'm leaving. I said, but I'm open to talk. And I left it. Remember, this is very important. Patience is only patience.
Hmm.
You cannot quantify it. How are you, Sangeeta?
I mean, it's the ego which says I am more patient. I have more
Yes,
patience. It's an
yes.
ego.
Ego says,
Thank you.
ego
Got it.
says. How many times
Uh,
we wet the bed? Mom told me, patience is enough, enough is enough. From today,
No.
you should not pee.
Hmm.
I can give you hundreds of examples. Don't talk about
Okay. Got it. Got
that. How are you, Sangeet?
सर बहुत अच्छा था सर। दो बातें हैं जो, एक तो कि मन को कंट्रोल करना है कि ये लेट द माइंड, और दूसरा यही कि सर हिट बाय द वर्ड, जितना हमें तंग करता है संसार, हम उतना ही ज्यादा आगे बढ़ते हैं।
हाँ, what she's saying, I'm just, she used the word control of the mind. So it's not a control, it's by understanding. So when you understand the very delusion, it dissolves. Delusion means it does not exist. But I have to be very patient, careful, aware, continue the journey, then only these things comes up, my friends. Thank you for patient listening and tolerating me.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Namaste.
sir. Namaste, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Ashok said
Namaste.
tolerating, so I said I must seek your forgiveness.
Namaste, sir.